Gone are the days when shonen characters screamed about never giving up and decided to spare the villains even after what they've done. These days, the lines of morality is blurred, and the moment you twist things the wrong way for the main character, he doesn't hesitate to go brutal. Welcome to Anime Regent, and today I'm bringing 10 anime series where the innocent boy turns evil and dangerous. If you want to see more anime recommendations like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button along with the bell notification to be instantly updated. That said, let's cut the lines of good and bad and see 10 characters who went rogue. At first look, Arifuretta may seem like a show with a lot of borrowed elements from the isekai niche, but one thing that makes this stand out is the character of Hajime Nagumo. Hajime starts off as the underdog of the class, always getting bullied by his classmates and getting caught up in their pranks. But after being trapped in a dungeon, his personality changes drastically. Who comes out is a much more cold-hearted and veteran warrior who has no resemblance to the innocent boy you saw before. But character development isn't the only reason you should pick this show. Apart from the regular isekai elements, you get some cool action, several twists in its story, and of course, a harem full of girls for the main protagonist. Terror is Resonance pulls out an interesting premise that isn't discussed much in anime: terrorism. Even though the theme may revolve around many other action anime, it is rare to see the world in the eyes of two terrorists. Terror in Resonance builds out a perfect story on how people's nature can affect their future. The main duo of this anime starts off as naive kids, but one evolves into a genius who plans schemes, and another is a sidekick who pulls dangerous stunts. Apart from the fast-paced story, you've also got the addition of mystery, as we have a detective on the other side trying to unravel the mystery of the two boys. If you need a thriller that fits right into the niche I'm speaking of, then this is the anime for you. Now, this main character isn't purely evil, so I'd like to call this necessary evil, an evil much needed in the politically corrupt society Akame ga Kill happens in. The story is about a boy named Tatsumi who joins a rebel group called Night Raid in fighting against the cruel rule of the government. Tatsumi, at first, starts off both naive and innocent, not knowing much about the world around him, and taking everyone at face value. But after joining the Night Raid, his personality soon changes to a beaten-up hero. Let me tell you, this story isn't for the light-hearted. There aren't many survivors at the end of the anime, and their deaths can be tragic. At one point, you won't even be surprised by Tatsumi's change. Being one of the new anime released in 2020, Galepnir manages to get a new fanbase apart from its manga fandom slowly revealed mystery. But one character that is always underrated in the series is Shuichi. His powers aren't that unique compared to many anime protagonists these days, but after meeting the crazy girlfriend Claire, he begins to question his own moral decisions. The past hidden behind him is only fuel to the flames, and soon our bespectacled innocent boys begin to follow the footsteps of Claire, remorsefully killing anyone who poses as a threat to him. In terms of character development, I'd like to call this moderate, but in terms of fitting to the innocent boy turning evil niche, I'd say this is a worthy addition. At 6 we have Rising of the Shield Hero. Now, this is a rather popular one, mainly because of the portrayal, and the main character turning evil was what made the anime get popular in the first place. Here we have Naofumi Iwatani, who is summoned to another world to fight as the Shield Hero. Like many other main characters in our list, he is all laughs and jokes in the first episode, but after he is framed for a fake crime and thrown out of the kingdom, he becomes a far more tragic anti-hero. Even though Naofumi softens later on in the series, his initial callous attitude and anger remain the same. If you need a good isekai revenge story, then this anime is one for you. Devilman Crybaby comes in next. Want a rather symbolic approach to the niche? Speak no more, because what we have next is both a classic and a perfect match for all the requirements. Yo Asuka, the best friend of Akira Fudo, tells him about the existence of demons. They stay mingled in with humanity and feed on them. On their visit to a nightclub, Akira is taken by the demon Amon, but Akira's will to live overpowers him until he turns into a devil himself, but also retains his human qualities. I know you've watched plenty of apocalypse shows, but Devilman Crybaby will add a whole new spin to the genre, and will show you the demons are far more better saints than humankind itself. Up next, we have Guilty Crown. Call it the rather misguided small brother of Code Geass, but you have to admit Shu's character change in the final arc of the anime was a huge plot twist. Shu Oma starts off as a high schooler as well, but after obtaining the mysterious power of the kings, he gets the ability to use people's souls to create weapons. The events around him force him to acknowledge the truth of the world, and after several sacrifices, you can see that the boy has had enough. Even though there were several criticisms aimed towards it, I think Shu's character change managed to establish his almost non-existent character arc and showed that even the most innocent kid in the class can be a badass if the situation calls for it.
The enemy tries to stab me from behind. The enemy to my right opens fire.
Mirai Nikki comes in next. Now, having bad friends can be a bad influence, but have a crazy psychopath girlfriend and the next thing you know, you're cleansing the world in order to become its god. This happens to Yuki, who gets dragged into a death game where the winner becomes the god named Deus Ex Machina. The boy who starts this game is a socially withdrawn shy boy, but the boy who plays the final round of the match is a utilitarian mastermind. Along the game, Yuki's character changes drastically, mainly because of his so-called girlfriend, Yuno Gasai. If you need a far more fantasy version of Terror in Resonance, with more violence, gore, and a mature tone, then this is the show you should watch. At the runner-up spot, we have Parasite. Alien invasions are nothing new, right? You see alien ships appearing in the sky and annihilating humans. But what if these monsters are smart enough not to reveal themselves easily? Parasite is an anime about a boy named Shinichi Izumi who discovers a strange species named parasites who take control of human brains. A parasite named Migi enters Shichi's body, and as they fight other parasites, the two form a strong bond. Shinichi is the boy I'm trying to shine the spotlight on here. Even though he starts off as the class nerd, he soon develops his personality by building his own moral rules and increasing his own strength. Of course, the parasite in his hand is one of the main factors for this, but the anime also shows how death and the loss of loved ones can actually transform one's identity into something dangerous. Topping off our list, here we have everyone's favorite Ghoul vs. Human anime. Now, this is a rather popular one, but for the ones who need a final push to watch it, here's the premise in short. The story starts off when Ken Kankei, an innocent high school boy, is attacked by a female ghoul. Luckily, an accident prevents Kankei from being the prey, and the doctors decide to replace Kankei's damaged body parts with the ghouls. Call it the worst surgery ever, but this makes the innocent Kankei hungry for human flesh. And even though the change is only shown subtly in the first two arcs, Kankei changes to a more numb and callous version of himself after his torture at the hands of Jason. The anime may be fast-paced, but if you want something to fit the niche as well as to show the swaying morality of the characters, then Tokyo Ghoul should be on the top of your watch list. So, did you catch some good anime that proves being good isn't always the best choice? When the world is dark, the main characters need to turn darker, and these 10 anime are proof of it. Let me know what you're planning to watch down below in the comments, and if I missed anything, be sure to mention the anime I missed as well. That's it for today, anime geeks, and I'll see you next time on the Anime Regent.